Hello, people of Earth, and welcome to the Quiffcast with me, Rob Baines, and Jack Barker.
Hello there.
There he is. Okay, so today, what are we going to be talking about today, Jack?
We're talking about games with acronyms, loads of acronyms.
Just acronyms in general.
Just acronyms in general.
Which can we just, before we get really into it, can you list off some of the acronyms that we might be facing in this podcast today?
We will be facing the challenging MMORPGs, MOBAs, RTSs, FPSs.
Oh.
And that's all my brain can think of right now.
just them really. And
yeah.
We might be covering some of them in this one. We might be covering in another podcast, you know, if we don't get time. But I think we're focusing on the ones that Jack knows more about than me. But before we really get into the juice of those, we've got a word. Believe it or not, Jack, we've got a word from our sponsor.
A word?
A word. Well, a few, actually.
Oh.
It forms a few sentences, actually. So, this episode of the Quiffcast was sponsored by Quiffco's new Bird's Eye View Pro.
Bird's Eye View Pro.
Yeah, it's they made the Bird's Eye View, you know, light, but it didn't work out well because it fell. But basically, if you ever played a game and it's top down playing, where you sort of say, "Oh, I'll control that character to go there." It's amazing, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%.
You see them like tiny people, and you think, "Wow, wouldn't life be really interesting if we could play our own lives like that?" Well, with the Bird's Eye View Pro Quiffco edition, you can do that. You literally, it's a big hat. It's a really big hat.
It's a big hat.
But it's more like a sort of a tripod, sort of thing. I mean, there's a drone edition coming out at some point, but we just, you know, this is more power. It's economical. This one.
Ooh.
It's just basically have you seen shoehorns?
I have seen shoehorns.
It's
yes.
like a giant shoehorn with a camera on the top, and you just wear it, and then you can play your life from a bird's eye view. I mean, it's very restricting on buildings. Don't ever go into a building with it on. It's mainly for outdoor use.
It's a huge hat.
Or if you have big ceilings in your house. You know.
How big is this hat?
Oh well, it's at least 20 foot.
At least 20 foot.
Yeah. I mean, it's extendable. That's the minimum. It goes up to 50.
Goes up to 50.
So you can actually see yourself from quite small. And then you've got these goggles that go over your face, and that's how you are focused into it.
How heavy is this thing, Rob?
How heavy?
How heavy?
Oh, it's really light. It's... I don't know. I'd say it's as light as... I'd say a backpack.
A backpack?
Possibly. A backpack with 10 to 15 iPads in it.
10 to 15 iPads?
Yeah.
That's not bad. The new iPads.
Yeah. iPad Airs. So.
Oh,
yeah.
That's very light.
It's yours Air, you know. It's very comfortable.
Oh,
very airy. You've got a shoehorn sticking out of your neck, but yeah.
Oh. Well, how much do I have to pay for it?
Well, it ranges. The Pro is currently going for £59.
59? £59?
£59.
That's quite cheap.
It is really cheap. The camera is separate. The camera is about 200.
Oh.
So if you want the bundle, it's 250.
I think I might just pay for the pole.
Yeah, I mean, you could, but the goggles will be dark and you won't be able to walk around. But
I see.
I mean, it is useful if someone lives on a very high building and you need to scratch your back. It's very useful for that. So it's £15 deal right there. But anyway, that's our sponsor, and now we're getting into the juice now. So, Jack,
Ooh, juicy.
what are you going to kick off with today? What's your most common play?
My most common play?
What platform? Yeah.
Oh, what platform? What platform do I play these things on?
No, well, like sort of, which of these acronyms would you say you play the most of?
I play a lot of MOBA.
MOBA. Okay.
Hardcore
what
MOBA.
for the listeners at home or wherever they are listening to this? What is a MOBA?
A MOBA is a massive online battle arena where you play with people from around the world, whether it's your friends or strangers.
Of course.
There's normally 2 teams, and you've got a common objective to take down the enemy's turrets, bases, whatever. They're rather fun, and they're normally free to play, most of them.
All right.
Yeah, it's like examples include things like Dota. Yeah, you ever heard of Dota?
Yeah, I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Yeah. StarCraft's a big one.
Yes.
The big old League of Legends.
No, I have played that. I have played that.
You have played. I can attest to that one. You have played,
because I've literally played with Jack, and that's literally the only person I played it with.
You played it with Beth as well. She was there.
Yes, but Jack,
she's a
Beth,
person,
and Charlotte was on it as well.
She's also a person.
They're all people.
They're all people. At the end of the day.
but Jack was the sort of, he played it, and I thought, okay, might give it a go. And it was very different. I felt it was a very different way to play.
There's not really many games like League of Legends. It's very unique in its sort of genre.
Yes,
there aren't many games like it. But when it's free to play, they include those little transactions, those little micro transactions. And
it's like getting back into that mobile gaming thing. If it's free, there's always a hook. They need to get revenue in somewhere. But yeah, what kind of micro transactions has LOL got?
Well, it's mostly for things like skins, right? There's nothing improves the playability of the character at all. Nothing makes you better if you spend money. It just makes you look a tiny bit cooler. If
I thought you could buy characters.
You can buy characters, but you could buy the characters by sort of playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In my opinion,
they can be unlocked.
Yeah, they can be unlocked with playtime, and I've never spent money on buying a champion when I can just sort of play to get it.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. But these costume, these like sort of different outfits are, maybe a limited time sort of things.
Yeah, so some of them are limited availability. Some of them are like legendary skins. And some of them are like Legendary Legacy, which is where they're available for a limited time. And they're like the best skins, and they give you new emotions. They give you emotions.
New emotions?
Yeah, because you can emote with your champion, you can dance, you can laugh, you can taunt them, and all of that stuff. Okay. But when you've been playing this game for 3 years, right, almost every day, these kind of transactions, they just build up.
Do they?
They build up on you, mate. They really do.
So what you're saying is you may have spent a fair quantity,
a fair wad,
a specific wad. What kind of figure are we looking at here, Jack?
Well, I made the mistake of looking mine up, and and I say mistake because my heart jumped right into my right into my throat and then back down into my stomach.
Okay.
Where it belongs.
Right.
And basically, right, I've spent £948
What?
in that game over 3 years.
900?
No joke. £948.
Jesus Christ, dude!
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. Oh my god.
Yeah,
How?
that's amazing,
How?
right?
900, you could buy...
know.
What could you buy for that? That's
That's
you could
like
buy
a
at least
year's
3
worth.
PS4 bundles for that.
That's like my year's car insurance
Oh my god.
for that.
What kind of things were you purchasing? Or still purchasing by the sound?
Yeah.
Maybe not after that figure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you might... at this point, you might be thinking, yeah, I might cut down now.
Well, I did look at it like a couple months ago, and
Right.
it was on like 900. And then the April Fool's Day skins came out, and
Wow.
I couldn't help myself. I just had to get all of them.
How much are these skins?
They range anywhere between a £5
Right.
and 20 quid.
That's quite steep, like.
But like 20 quid is the ultimate skins. They come out like once every year.
I'd be interested to see how much I've spent on add-ons.
For other games, because I doubt you spent.
I don't think I've spent that much on. I don't think I could beat your score, as it were.
Beat my score. well,
But
my
I
brother.
have spent. I think probably the game I spent the most on probably would be GTA. Because
Yeah.
I don't know how much I've spent on that. If I worked that out one day, I probably would. Definitely not 900 though.
No, I don't think it'd be that.
I think I've bought at least 2 like £30 ones.
It's still quite a lot of money.
It does, yeah.
Like, it does build up, but
it's like when there's like certain things on and whatnot. I think I've treated myself, because the thing is, I don't play many other games than GTA, so it's like I've been playing it for so long. It's like I've got way more hours into the game than I would. Sometimes you've got games, you can play them for a certain amount of time, and you can sort of judge whether you've had a good quantity of playing time to what in comparison to what you've spent on the game.
Yeah. Well, I've made a rule to myself that I'll only spend money in a game that I want to help the developers in. Like, if I'm passionate about the game that I want to give money to the developers to be like, make more stuff, like, I'll spend money. But I didn't actually realise it was that much.
No. You've really supported the developers of that game, I think.
That's it. Riot Games, if you're listening, hello.
The worst thing is, I think you probably are not... I think there's people out there that probably would have spent a lot more on it.
That's what I was just about to say. My brother is even worse. My brother is 3 years younger than me.
Right. Oh yes, of course he plays it as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's spent about 1,300. It was last time I looked, and it was mostly skins for other people, because you can gift people.
Right. Okay.
Things. But he mostly bought it for other people.
It makes you think, though, doesn't it?
It does. And I mean, like, I wonder how much money you have to put into that game till you actually buy everything. Well, I mean, not every penny that I've put under that game was for me. It's mostly... some of it's for me, some of it's for, like, Beth and Jordan and stuff like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, if Jordan does me a real life favor, I won't say like, "Oh, I'll buy you. I'll just give you $5 or whatever." It's like, no, I'll give you a $5's worth of Riot points on League of Legends.
Something that they're gonna use. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it stays there for ever, rather than spending it on food and it's just gone. So, It's just a thing.
It's a very surprising thing, actually. So anyway, let's move on from LOL.
Okay, yeah.
But basically, what is? Did you explain what LOL is? Basically, it's like from what I've played from it, it's pretty much it's a battle from two sides. I don't know if you can go more than two sides. I'm not sure, but
it's two teams. They used to have a game mode where you could have 3 teams.
Yeah.
But
capturing stuff, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Defeating.
Yeah, working towards a common goal.
Yeah.
Complete strangers working towards a common goal to take down the enemy turrets.
All characters have different abilities that they can all.
Yeah, all different mechanics and stuff like that. Some champions are easier to play than others.
There's a lot of strategy in it that I found when I played it.
Yeah,
I've got to cover this ground, and you go top, middle, whatever.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
there's a lot of that, and the games are quite long as well. They can span.
They go anywhere from like 25 minutes to upwards of an hour. Mm-hmm. I've had mine up to an hour and a half before.
Yeah.
Because it just wasn't going anywhere. We were too evenly matched. It's like you can't do anything else.
I think the only game I've played when I played it, I know it's not that I can't remember what you said it was, but the game I sort of
was it like on a straight?
Sorry,
on like a straight piece of land.
The only
snow.
thing I've what?
Sorry.
Snow.
Go on.
What are you saying, man? The only game I've played that is I sort of had a bit of similarities to, but I know it's not. Is Total Annihilation. Now I can't remember what you said it was, but it's an
RTS, real-time strategy.
Real-time strategy.
Yeah.
But I think they all have their sort of similarities and differences.
Yeah, arguably it is similar.
I can't remember when Total Annihilation came out. I'm gonna have a cheeky Google. But
quite a while ago.
It's quite a while ago. I mean, it works on my mum's computer now, which is very. It was very surprising, actually. It came out in 1997.
Yeah, there's still there's websites dedicated to forums on that game. I was doing a little bit of a research, and
it's got 10 out of 10 on Steam.
Jesus, yeah, there's so much support for that game. I've never played it in my life, but there's so much support that I think I might have to.
It's one of those games that is like it's stuck with me. I always remember like the arm and the car. I always used to play as the arm. These little things that probably won't mean anything to anyone, but it's one of those things. It's one of those games that sticks with you. Like I remember the arm, and I also remember I had to make my aircraft thing so I could get an advanced aircraft thing, and then I can get my brawlers, which are like the best, air vehicles out there. There's like the Big Bertha and all these crazy names, but it's basically like, well, it's a versus thing. There's a campaign to it, but I didn't really play the campaign. It was more of the skirmish sort of thing. Just set up a custom game and do it. You could have either 1v1 team, 2 different ones, or 1v3, up to 4 different teams, all different colours or different like makes of teams and whatnot. And basically verse each other, and it starts off with a commander, then you build stuff, you build things to make sure you have more metal and energy and whatnot. So
it kind of reminds me of Civ a little bit. Civilization.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was games like that as well. There's a Total Annihilation. There's a Total Annihilation sort of similar game. I think it was called Kingdoms actually, which is more.
I think I've got a Kingdoms game.
Have you?
Yeah.
I think it was called Kingdoms. Similar sort of concept though. You make things. You make robots to go off and do stuff. It's really good, and I think they're coming back. They've made a modern version of Total Annihilation. I think it's called Planetary Annihilation.
Yeah, I've actually got that one.
Have you got it?
I've got that in my library. I've not installed it, but I've got it in my library.
I'm tempted to get it because it looks. When I've looked at the trailers and everything, I was like, that is the closest that is the closest that there was a game we got because my mum was getting desperate to actually play it. I think it was called Supreme Commander. That was almost like Total Annihilation, but this Planetary Annihilation looks the closest. It's the closest you probably can get to Total Annihilation. It's got robots in it. It's got the similar sort of things. There's a bit of extra dimension to it. It's not a flat thing. It's the whole like thing of it's on a planet, and you can go around the planet. And then there's multiple planets, so you could send things off into space. There's a bit more space elements to it, but it looks quite similar. So I'd really want to play that.
It does look quite good. Yeah. I think that's the reason why I got it. I can remember seeing it and thinking, this is going to be like the best game. I think I backed it on like Kickstarter or something. And then got a key for it, and I've just never installed it. But it's just been there for it.
I can't remember if it was available on Mac or not.
It's been there for 2 years.
Yes, I'm a Mac player. If a game comes out, I have to be in that lucky few that get it. It's a Mac compatible game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks to be a really good game. So that's what was that? What did you say? What was called?
It's called RTS.
RTS, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, real time strategy.
Yeah. What other one? I mean, we're running out of time a little bit for other ones, but what kind of other things did you say similar in the respective strategy and whatnot?
You got like turn-based strategy, which is more like your civilizations, your stuff like that, and your XCOM. XCOM? Yeah, where you're working as the humans trying to defeat like these aliens, or it's like humans mutated into aliens. I think I can't remember. It's been a while.
There's a lot of mobile games that sort of take on those kind of what would you call them? The genres of game. I found
the strategy type war games.
There's like a Marvel one, I'm sure. Like the dude. Things like that. It works all right on mobile. I think those kind of games, but it depends how much power you want to put into it.
Well, you've got a bigger sort of audience because almost everybody has a smartphone, right?
Yeah,
but not everybody has like a computer that can run games.
What would you call that? There's that World of Tanks game that always gets advertised on like every
That is years old. That's like 6 years old.
Would you call that sort of within that sort of thing?
That's
it's similar, but it's not. I wouldn't.
It's kind of it's like a third-person shooter.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of more like that.
Okay.
And like games like War Thunder's like that, where you play as like planes.
Right.
Like the only thing you can play is tanks, and the only thing you play is planes and that. It's similar.
Okay. There is quite a lot. I'm just trying to think of is there any more examples. Can you think of any more examples for games sort of like that? Or do you think we've
strategy?
Covered? Strategy, yeah.
At the moment, that's all I can think of.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got we've got MOBAs, MMO. What's an MMO again?
MMO. Massively online multiplayer role-playing game.
Right.
That's like your World of Warcraft. That's where you play as a character, you level them up.
RuneScape?
That is an old one.
I played that. I admit I did play that when it was like early. I haven't played the new one because they've updated it quite a lot from the last thing I've seen of RuneScape. But I did play that one. There's a very classic game to play at school. I think.
Yeah,
that one was.
Everybody used to play that game.
Yeah.
Like, we all had, like, our own little black markets and way to sort of, like, scam people out of getting their items.
Always, like, messaging people saying, "Oh my god, do you want to meet up? We can see if we can get in there." It's crazy. I think it was one of the first games I played. I was, like, excited to see, like, "Oh my god, there's someone I know."
Yeah.
Apart from Habbo Hotel or something. But yeah, that was like one of the first games, and I was like I know I was Skype, I must have been Skyping or MSN calling. Oh, there you go. Just like trying to figure out what the hell do I do. It was one of those games where I was like, I'll get into it so I can like have a common ground and like be able to play a game with some of my friends. Just
so you have something in common with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those games.
That's what I used to do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so what about we've got MOBA? We've done that one.
Yes.
Role-playing game.
Role-playing games like your Skyrims, your Dark Souls.
Oh, that's getting a bit high on the that's a bit more. I think that's probably one of the most common ones. I think the kind of games that we have talked about are like very, in some ways, it's niche, but I think there's I think there's a wider audience for the role-playing games and stuff. I think stereotypically, when people think of the games like LOL and League of Legends, I'm not just going to keep on saying LOL, League of Legends and all these kind of things, I sort of think, is that a game I could get into? But it's like, whereas I think more the likes of Skyrim and role-playing games like that are more accepted.
Yeah, it's a lot of people
yeah.
like sort of playing alone and stuff, and like League of Legends can be very sort of rage-inducing.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah,
because like you keep dying for no reason.
I found it quite difficult. Well, you think you knew this? I did find League of Legends quite difficult because there's a lot. It's one of those games you can't just jump in and like think,
there's a lot to take in, and
there's a lot to take in. I think those games are very common to that, and I think that might be another thing as a turn off for people. Yeah, if for like a new player, whereas like the likes of Skyrim, you've got the things like that, and most games like GTA have a tutorial and whatnot. When I jumped into League of Legends, I was like, wow, there's a lot I need to learn, and like I was just basically every 10 seconds, I was like, what the button? It's a jack.
It's literally like learning another language. Like it's completely different. Yeah. Like you've got to know all the terminology, all the jargon.
Yes. So yeah, what advice would you give to people who might want to get into those types of games? What would you recommend? Actually research them?
I'd say research them a little bit. Watch pro players. See how they play, because they'll explain things a lot better. Yeah. Start with a friend, maybe.
Of course. Yeah,
maybe not that's boyfriend or girlfriend, because like that it could be a relationship ender if you just.
It might be nice. There's two ways of looking at it. It might be nice to start playing with a friend who is an experienced player, so they can sort of guide you through it. Like
that was going to be my next one.
Like Jack. I mean, If I ever played League of Legends, I don't think I would have played League of Legends if it wasn't for Jack.
You wouldn't just jump into it by
yourself. I wouldn't have jumped into it because I was like, I think that would have been a bit too extreme for me. Yeah. But because Jack knew pretty much, he sort of walked me through it. I think that was nice. It definitely got me into the game a lot easier. But another way of looking at it, which I think would be similar to how me and Charlotte did it, is like we went into it together as well. Yeah. Both of us didn't have a clue, so we were both looking to Jack and Beth to sort of get the gist of the game and stuff like that. So,
but it was fun.
It was really fun. Yeah, we had a good laugh and everything.
Yeah, it brings people together, while at the same time tears them apart. It's magical.
It's a magical game, but yeah,
totally
be prepared. Be prepared.
£948.
maybe not go to Jack's family's reaches of downloadable content. But yeah. Anyway, I think that's all we've got time for in that sort of subject. But before I go, I was gonna mention this in the last podcast, but I have a new sketch out on youtube.com/RobCamVideos, released on April Fool's Day, actually. and it's called the Quiff Legion Rejects. So it's a very interesting sketch where I played 13 different characters, and it's like a sort of audition sort of thing. But it's had, to be fair, it's had quite a lot of positive feedback so far.
It was good. I liked it. Plus, I'm in it. Jack's
in it as well. There you go. There's another sort of connection to it. Jack makes a guest appearance. Actually, 2 of the Quiffcast members make a guest appearance in it. Ryan's in it for like 1 second. If you look at the shot where the Doctor grasps on Cody's arm, that's Ryan's arm. There you go.
I
there you go. Because how could I have done that shot without him? I don't know. I'm not that good. But yeah, go and check that out, and let me know. And it'd be interesting if you've gone and watched it from this podcast. Let me know in the comments. I came from the Quiffcast. Maybe not word it like that, because that does sound a bit weird. But yeah, just let me know, and let me know what you think, and share it about with your friends, and share the enjoyment of the Quiff Legion. But yeah, thank you very much for listening to this Quiffcast. Don't forget to press the little subscribe button to stay updated and synced up with all these different podcasts. Don't forget to leave a rating. Let me know what you think. And yeah, we shall see you in the next. We shall see you in the next Quiffcast. Say goodbye, Jack.
Goodbye, Jack.
Oh, he said it, didn't he? Goodbye, people of Earth.